Hello, nothing like a little Star Wars to get things rolling. I'm going to go over a quick video with you to help you gain a few tools so that you can simplify fractions a little bit easier when multiplying. So I'm going to refer back to 5-21, and there's a great picture here. We just didn't get this far in this particular lesson, and I wanted to make sure we got it covered. So I'm going to read through it, kind of talk you through it, and give you a few tips on how you can think about multiplying fractions. So it starts out with Andy and Bill were working on finding 1/3 of 3/8. They started by drawing the diagram at the right, and suddenly Andy had an idea. Wait, he said, I can see the answer in this diagram without having to draw anything else. Part A says discuss with your team what Andy might have been talking about and be prepared to share your ideas with the class. So right here he has 1, 2, 3 shaded in out of 8 parts. So that's showing the 3/8. And he can recognize what the answer is without even having to draw any further. I personally had a hard time with this until I kind of futzed around with it a little bit. So if you see it, fantastic. If you don't, just bear with me. All right, I am back, and I have the expression written right here, and I have my picture to go with it. I'm going to extend it a little further. We know that this is showing the 3/8. I'm going to make the 1/3 by going back to my picture and making this into thirds. So this would be 1/3, and this would be, right here would be 2/3, and this would be 3/3. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to double shade. I'm going to shade in of this 3/8, excuse me, of this 3/8, I'm shading in 1/3. So this would be shaded, this would be shaded, and this would be shaded. So from our picture, I know that 1/3 of 3/8 is 3 out of 24 parts. 24 parts. However, I also know that this can be simplified into 1/8. Okay, so that's the problem. I could take 1 times 3 gives me 3, and 3 times 8 gives me 24. But this particular student recognized that when we go back to our original picture, that when we're finding 1/3 of 3/8, that when he had that, he could envision that this part, this 1/8, was equivalent to drawing out the rest of this and shading in the 3 parts. I really have a hard time seeing that. After it's explained to me, I kind of understand it. But I'm going to just show you a real quick trick here that kind of explains this further or helps us when we have a multiplication problem. If you look at what are called the cross multiples, okay, so the numerator here and the denominator here, you can look to see if they have any common factors. In this particular case, the common factor is 1. So they have nothing else in common, so that's it. They only have 1 in common. There's nothing we can do there. But if you look at these cross multiples, we recognize that they both are divisible by 3 or can be divided by 3. They have the common factor of 3. So what I can do in that problem, I'm going to rewrite it so that you can actually see it now that I've drawn all over it, is when you look at the cross multiples, if they have anything in common, you could divide them. So in this case, I'm dividing this by 3 and I would get 1. And I would divide this by 3 and I get 1. Okay, so now our new problem is 1 times 1 gives us 1. 1 times 8 gives us 8. So in other words, by doing this, by looking at the cross multiples and simplifying within the problem, we don't have to simplify in the end. And this picture kind of explains why that works, because notice when, I can't remember the young man's name in this scenario, said that he could see the answer without having to draw the extra grid lines. He recognized that 1/3 of 3/8 was just equivalent to one of these rows, or 1/8. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple other practice problems. I would like you in your notes to write this original problem down, which was 1/3 of 3/8. And first of all, I want you to solve it just regularly by multiplying across. So 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 8 is 24. And then hopefully you recognize that we can simplify or reduce this by dividing both parts by 3. If you do that, you end up getting 1/8. Okay? Then underneath that, I want you to write down 1/3 of 3/8. And then I want you to recognize that both the cross multiples can be simplified, or they both share a factor of 3, so I can divide it by 3, divide this by 3, and then I multiply across, which gives us 1/8. It's just a little, I guess, trick so that you don't have to simplify in the end. All right, I'm going to give you a few more examples, and then you're going to get a worksheet so that you can practice this a little more. In fact, I'm going to start with the first problem on your worksheet, which you don't have in your hands yet, but it's 5/10, which we know is equal to 1/2, right? Times 4/9. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the cross multiples. I'm going to look at this 5 and this 9. They do not have any factors in common other than 1. So I can't do anything with those. But if I look at these cross multiples, they both are even, so I know they can be divided by 2. So if I divide 10 by 2, I get 5. And if I divide 4 by 2, I get 2. Okay, hopefully you recognize that. If that doesn't make sense, rewind it, rewatch it. Hopefully it will sink in. Now I multiply across. 5 times 2 is 10. And 5 times 9 is 45. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't simplify it totally, because by saying 5 times 2 is 10 and 5 times 9 is 45, we should recognize that both these still can be divisible by 5. So if I divide them both by 5, I'm going to get 2/9, which you could have recognized that we could have just considered this 1, and we would have had our answer of 2/9 here. Okay, I'm going to give you another example just to make sure that you have it, and then I'll let you go free on working this out. By the way, I'm going to backtrack one way, and let's not simplify it and just multiply across. You'll see what happens there. We're going to have 20 over 90. And then another way you could have simplified is to recognize they're both divisible by 10, which basically means that we can chop off both these zeros to get 2/9. So there's a couple ways you could have gone about this. In the end, I hope you recognize that 2/9 is your answer. If you would simplify it by looking at the cross multiples and reducing, or you could simplify it by having your end answer and reducing. Either way is going to work out. You're going to get the same answer. I'm going to give you one more problem just to practice, and then I will let you on your way. All right, I have another problem written down. We have 5/6 of 2/14, or times 2/14, and I noticed that 5 and 14 have really nothing in common. I also recognize that 2 and 6 definitely have something in common. I can divide this by 2 as well as this by 2 to get 3. And then if I multiply across, I have 5. And then 3 times 14, I don't know 3 times 14 off the top of my head, but I do know that if I double this and half this, I'm going to get 6 times 7, which will give me the same answer, which is 42. Okay, now the last decision you have to make is, can we simplify this any further? Well, 5 is a prime number, so the only way we could simplify it further is if 5 is a factor of 42, and it is not. So this is as simple as it gets, 5 over 42. You could have recognized and I'll show you what would happen if we just multiplied across initially. Okay, this would be 10, and then I'd have to know what 6 times 14 was. If I double this, that would give me 12. If I half this, that would give me 7. I know that 12, I'm just going to check my work just to make sure I'm right. 12 times 7 is going to be 84, but I'm just going to check just to make sure. Yep, 84. So this would be my answer if I didn't simplify within the problem. And then I'd have to simplify now. And I know that they both can be divided in half for sure. And that would give us 5 over 42. One last thing, and then I promise I'll stop talking, is that you could have recognized that instead of thinking of 5 6 times 2 14ths, we could have thought it as 5 6 times 1 7th. And then you're going to get your answer pretty quickly. So notice there's a lot of ways you can do this. What you have to do is recognize the tricks you could use. You could simplify the actual problem. You could simplify within the problem looking at the cross multiples, or you could just multiply everything across and then simplify it at the end. So you have a lot of tricks and tools to use. Your goal is to obtain a multiplication fractions and cross canceling worksheet. Work on that. Make sure you show all your work. You do not have to submit that. You're just going to come to class tomorrow with that completed. You'll be turning that in. And then the last thing you have to work on today is 20 minutes on Khan Academy Mappers. Please, please, please make sure that you log in before you begin. If you don't log in, I do not have record of you working on the Khan Academy Mappers. So please make sure you log in. If you run into any issues, work on it for 20 minutes and try to take a picture to show proof that you worked on it. Thank you.